What is up, guys? So apologies for the delay, but here it is, finally, week 5. Yeah, quite an eventful week to say the least. I'd say as eventful as it will get throughout these 9 weeks, because I was able to max out on all three by doing a random 1RM day and get all new maxes for my lifts. So I was really happy. As you just saw, started off the week pretty tough with a 195 fail after the 190 kg success from last week. So that was a little frustrating, but I didn't know what to expect with the new form because it's still really new to me. And what you're watching now is actually me trying to do some decently heavy volume for the first time with the new form. But I have to say things went really well. So yeah, week 5, everything's still increasing. Obviously failed the sumo on Monday. Did the 92.5 bench. As I said, that's coming up next. And the prescribed squat I think for that week was 160. So what happened there is that on Wednesday, I walked in and felt pretty beat out mentally, physically. Really wanted to train, but just felt like I didn't have much in the tank on that day. So I thought, might as well, when I'm feeling at my lowest point, physically and mentally, why not just max out on the big three and kind of see where I'm at the body weight I'm standing at. So what I did is I was able to squat 170, which is a 5 kilo all-time PR. I was able to bench 95, which is technically not a PR. It's just 2.5 under. But what happened is that I lost body weight, and I've actually been losing pretty well lately. So I weighed in at 68.7 on the Tuesday. So that's the body weight. I just called it for my new big 3 one rep max. So what I'm gonna do is actually post a video of the big 3. Just call it 465 at 68.7. So that's my new all-time best. So I'm really happy about that, and I'm looking forward to seeing if I'm able to achieve that in a competition. So yeah, that's pretty much how it went. Again, kind of went a little crazy on this week, but I still stuck to the volume. I hit all my volume on Monday, hit all my volume on Tuesday. I kind of went off program on Wednesday, but as soon as I hit that on the Thursday and the Friday, I still hit my volume. Yeah, that went really well, and I was really pleased. I was not expecting to be able to get the numbers I got, and I really surprised myself on a day I was really tired. I'm still trying to kind of, I guess, I don't know how to explain, just, is deadlifting 200 kilos, which was the goal by the end of this year, being able to deadlift it so soon. I just really wasn't expecting it, and then just being able to casually add a 5 kilo on my squat, just like that, although I've been losing a lot of weight, and just benching 95 so casually. Yeah, I was just really pleased with that day, and I'm still trying to realize that it really happened. So I was really happy with that. Yeah, in terms of accessories, like I always mention, I've been able to increase every single movement, and that has been going very well. So everything has gone up. The only movements that have stalled, or at least I've reached the point where I know that I've reached my limit, are obviously the competition squat, bench, and deadlift for the heavy singles. So those will be movements that I stick to, to the weights I hope to open with. So I'll call them opener weights. but they're at around 90%. I generally like to go 90, 95, 100% in terms of the average. I just feel that it's an adequate percentage to use, so that's what I'll be going for during my competition. I generally like to use that as a first, second, and third attempt. Just go by 5% jumps, which generally equates to even jumps in terms of kilos on the bar. And going up, for example, 150, 160, 170 will be the prescribed squats, so that is pretty consistent in terms of increase, and that's equates to 90%, 95, and 100% respectively. So yeah, I decided to put kind of like the last weight before the new maxes, and also just the new maxes on the squat, bench, deadlift on this video. But I decided I'll just be putting just the free lifts on the next video, just with no voiceover, kind of like just to be able to reflect on it and what I've been able to achieve, and just kind of reflect on it compared to the first time I posted, which was my first YouTube video with my X maxes, which was actually just in January, and just to see what I've been able to add to my total in such a short amount of time, and about the same body weight, because I'm getting much closer to my old body weight, and I will be at 66 kilo sooner than I expected, so very, very, very happy with that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have like too much more I need to cover. Obviously, I'm really hoping that I'm able to take the movements as far as I can. What I'm planning to do is to max out on the conventional, and also the 4 count pause in the next week of the program, to kind of be done with all the singles, because as I previously mentioned, I start each day of my training with a heavy single that goes up every week, the free competition lifts, and on the 2 other days just variation, which I chose as the 4 count pause bench press and the conventional beltless deadlift, just to see how far I can take them, because they really do work on my weak points, those 2 movements, so I really enjoy them because I'm really bad at them, to be honest. So I'll see how far I can take them next week, so basically just max out on them as the first thing of the day, and just whatever I get will be my new maxes, and I'll drop it to 90% for single onwards, as I am planning to do for the squat, bench, and deadlift. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. There's not too much I need to cover, apart from, I think I've just talked about anything that needs to be talked for this week. Actually, as in week 5, I got 4 weeks left, so the plan is just to continue increasing everything, just to push it as far as I can. Then I'll have my little 12-day break, and I'll be jumping into block 2, peaking block, if you want to call it. That will be 7 weeks until my competition, and I'm hoping that all the strength I've built through this block will translate in my next block, and I'm able to hit my numbers during my meet. Yeah, the final thing I wanted to talk about is the structure of my blocks. I'm really liking it. I'm more than halfway through. I've made a few modifications that I've talked about before, which you have been able to see if you followed. Just modifying just the rep ranges, still keeping the volume the same, but kind of making it more to my personal liking, in terms of pauses and normal reps, kind of modifying the sets and reps, but just keeping the same volume. Could enjoy it more that way. It's been really successful. So I've created my new structure for this block, which I call block 1, and I've created block 2, and I've kept those templates that I may use again in the future. And additionally, I'm currently in the process of creating a third template, which I'd say may be an alternative to block 1. I wouldn't say I'd call it block 3, because the transition between block 1, block 2, and block 3 would be a little tricky with the kind of structure that I'm building now in terms of movements, accessories, and whatnot. So I'd say what I'm working on right now would be block 1 option 2, and I've been working on it just for about a day now, just kind of structuring it the way I like, and I will decide when I give it a test drive, but perhaps after my competition when I come back, maybe do a few max out when I'm still peak just for fun, and use the new numbers, and probably go into either back into traditional block 1 that I've created, which I may make available on YouTube to show it, but it's basically what you're watching now, just a whole week. The percentage are not indicated, but the rep ranges or the volume. That's kind of how it's gonna be structured. This is pretty much my final block 1 this week. Shows a will, and next week minus obviously, actually, because I maxed out on the Wednesday. I didn't do my Wednesday program, but yeah, the next week will pretty much be the final structure of my block 1, and then yeah, in about 6 or 7 weeks time you'll see the block 2 structure, and then I'm sure I'll get to discussing block 1 version 2 if I ever get to it. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching. Sorry again about the delay, but I will actually be posting week 6 that I'm getting ready just after this, and the big 3 probably today or tomorrow. So that's it for me. I'll let you enjoy the final footage, which is always the front squat, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.